the fans really have misconceptions about some of these rules in Power Slap, and because it's so new. Uh, can you can you tell us or explain to us, what's not allowed? Can you lift a foot off the ground? Can you pivot 1 foot? Can you pivot 2 feet? What are the rules when it comes to Power Slap?
Well, I think that's like the hard part is sometimes the rules change a little bit. So it used to be like you can't lift your foot at all, and then people are still lifting their feet. Then it was like you can barely lift your foot if it's like a natural thing, and then they're like there's a 2 inch lift, and then they went back to this natural lift of the feet, but due to like the carrying of the momentum, and so it's kind of vague. And I think that like it just depends, right? Because I mean, it's human error on some level, and I'm sure some of it is like some sort of cognitive bias, like towards certain situations. Like, don't if the Nevada State Athletic Commission guys are watching this, I'm very sorry. I don't mean any negativity. Please don't score me wrong. Uh, I think I pissed off that judge somehow. I don't know, but like, um, yeah, I was like, "Please, please, please don't be bad." But it's just, I mean, it's there, and they admit it too. We do rules meetings like 2 times, sometimes before a match, and it's no harm, no foul. Like happens to UFC fighters all the time too. I'm sure the new BJJ and the boxing matches they'll have the same problem. Where like, but that's just fighting in general. It's like if you're going to be in the fight game, if you don't knock the guy out, like they say don't let it go to the judges or to the buzzer or whatever, like that is accurate for the sport as well. So, but yeah, the feet raising, the pivoting, you're definitely not supposed to be able to pivot. So, like they say, once you make contact with the face, you can follow through. But the thing is like they've done a lot of scientific research with it, and everyone thinks like, oh, it's just some dudes slapping each other. But the Nevada Athletic State Commission is like one of the best in the world, right? And they partner with doctors and scientists and all that other stuff. And I'll let you look it up, right? Like look into it. Essentially, if you move after you've made contact, it reduces the impact force a lot more, right? So you're not going to kill somebody more or less. But if you pivot leading up to that, you can generate so much more force, which is why like a hook or something like that, you can do some damage to somebody because you are pivoting so hard. You can see it in the UFC, you can see it in boxing, all that other stuff, and so it does reduce the amount of I don't know what the newtons, the human force, the joules or whatever people like generate. I'm not a physicist, right? But yeah, that is kind of the gist of it. So you have to hit within a range, like they've done everything they can to reduce, the I don't know, the cognitive impact that you're going to have on somebody essentially if you just deliver an open strike, which I mean, obviously it's like, yeah, you can't block, but it's like, dude, like on average, I think a UFC fighter gets hit like 3 to 5 times after they've already been knocked out, essentially. So there's like a knockout hit, and then there's 3 to 5 hard hits to somebody. Right?
Yep.
They're done. They're still getting hit. If I get
Yep.
wobbled, I got some guy that's catching me. I got a doctor that's got, he's like, "Are you okay? Like, we're gonna make sure." Doctors are awesome too. Same doctors for the UFC, but they're very serious. People will catch you, like, if you fall, like, they will they will make sure you're okay. You're like, "Dude, I'm kinda pampered on some level." I don't even know how to explain it. I'm like, I'm getting the same treatment as a UFC fighter before and after, but during, I'm getting pampered. Like, some dude's gonna catch me. They're gonna make sure I'm okay. If not, it's like they hardly do that in the UFC. If you've ever seen it, it's like if the same thing happened, people would be like, "You're never gonna fight again." Like, what a wuss. Like you would never live that down. So I don't know, on that level, it's like, yeah, I would say it's very safe, right? They do a lot of tests before, a lot of tests after, annual tests. We have to be licensed, all that jazz. So um, the rule set are basically this: you can't move your feet, or you're not supposed to move your feet. You can have a natural like carry to it, just slightly, right? So you can lift up just a little bit, and once you've made contact, you can start to pivot your feet. Um, without without that, you need to be within range. So like I need to hit like basically like this, more or less. So they don't want you doing this, and they don't want you doing this or this. So it's supposed to be an open palm strike essentially. So they call power slap, but I would say we all agree it's an open palm strike. That's why they call us strikers. But yeah, that's basically it, man. You can't flinch. If you flinch, you get two for flinching. It's one of the best things ever. I think it's a hilarious thing. It's like a school ground sport. It's just like, two for flinching. But yeah, there's that. You can't offensively foul more than 3 times or 2 times, I think, and then I think yeah, it's 2 offensive fouls and then 3 defensive fouls. A defensive foul is a flinch or something like that, essentially. I think you can even incorporate like you're not supposed to be talking like egregiously before the strike or whatever. So I think they might incorporate that now. Um,
Really?
yeah, like they want you to entertain, but they don't want you to it's a show. So they've essentially said if they tell you to do something and you don't do it, they're not going to do it probably, but they could call like a foul for whatever they want to call it for, right?
He's wearing a T-shirt that says "Never Made." I believe him. I think he's telling the truth.